do something with Isabella. Let me say I won't collect body.
Isabella, if you want come, I beg they free. Constantly for a minute.
I kiss you. I'm not supposed to do nothing.
You never kiss him now. Wow. Culture.
You get why? You get why?
This whole behavior of culture, he's going to need to tread with caution in this house because it's going to put him in trouble. That is, if it has not already put him in trouble. Because not long after this conversation, Big Brother called Isabella into the diary room. God knows what he was telling her. There are several things that happened last night that may have prompted Big Brother to call her into the diary room. But she was there for quite some time. And then we could hear very well from the conversation, Culture mentioning that he kissed her, and she now said he kissed me without my permission and all of that. Even though later on she was saying something about him, like just it's involving just lips and all of that, and she was laughing about it. But he needs to tread with caution because it's not the first time he's dealing with somebody in the house. He tried the same thing with Sultana at some point. You guys remember when Ebuka spoke about Sultana's kiss with Jason J, and then later on with Koyin, it can't be like say Kocho won't collect on. He tried and she dodged it and all of that. So anyway, we're going to talk about it more, but let me just talk about a few things that happened last night before we now get to this particular situation and some other things that may be quite implicating that happened from last night. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you're new here, please do well to like, share, subscribe, and all the good stuff. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video. So, to begin with, the head of house is Koyi. Koyi won the head of house challenge. Congratulations to him. It was pretty tough. First of all, they did like the whole word puzzle, and then the second one had to do with balancing, right? So, like people that would usually say, delay is not denial. And like other people will say, delay is not Delilah. So he has finally now won the head of house games, and he chose Jason J to be his house guest, right?
Koyin, congratulations. Who will be your guest?
Jason J.
It's the way they just showed us Isabella and Dede's face after he said Jason J. Big brother, you were, what was that about? They will just be doing things. They want to zoom in to see if there's a reaction or something going on there. They always know what they are doing. So, Kola and Bright, they've settled their issues. You guys know, like there was a conversation about Bright saying something to Kola. In fact, Kola got emotional yesterday. In fact, like he was literally crying yesterday, right? And sorry, he was crying yesterday. He was all emotion stuff, and I feel like it has to do with everything. A lot of things that happened, even I mean that talk that Ibuka finished the live eviction show with saying, "Oh, some of you keep your enemies close, keep your friends far." That one, some people were deep in it so much, right? So this particular situation that Bryce was apologizing for was a statement that he made to Isabella. All right, Isabella was like being moving funny. She was trying to make it seem like, oh, Bryce wanted to do something with her, or Bryce said that there was a bed situation. That time they were sleeping on the floor. They asked her, okay, who is sleeping here? Like he was trying to find a space, so that she made it seem like he asked because he wanted to sleep near her or something. And then he threw a shade to her when they were having their whole back and forth. He said something about like, you think say I be caller, that kind of thing. It's almost like caller just a collect left, right, and center for the things that he has done. So obviously that made feel caller, first it made feel caller. What's not this week for here? That made caller feel some type of way, and he was, pissed off and stuff. And then here they were just having back and forth talk. Bright was just explaining to him that he just wanted to use anything he had to come at Isabella. Kola was saying that he could have used any other example, that he's not the only one that has had something to do with Isabella. There was also Koyin in the mix and all of that. He could have used anybody else but him to do that his example.
I was only just confused why I am the one being used, but I'm not the only person that had an encounter with him. Did I use Coin? Did I use any other person?
I mean, she's trying to pass it out there that, or maybe I was giving her green light. No, first, I know reason I'm like that. It came out.
So after everything, he just apologized to him. He told him he's sorry and all of that, and they shook hands. Even though I don't think that it's completely settled, like I said, that statement that Ibuka made, maybe we'll be feeling like, okay, maybe this is the situation. So he may try to prolong it a little bit. And these housemates, they used to change strategy every week, or they used to rethink what their how they're doing in the house and try to see how they would change things. And let's see how the dynamics in the house will be this week. So yeah, back to this topic. They were having a conversation in the kitchen, and Culture was just talking about Tracy, that he is missing Tracy and everything. And then he spoke about the boundary that Tracy sets for him when they were in the head of house lounge together, that she used to create like she will use pillow or whatever it is to create a demarcation between them. And then Koyin was now saying that for him, if he doesn't want to do anything with anybody, like regardless of whether they are even staying on the same bed or anything, that if he doesn't want to do anything with anybody, that he's just going to sleep, right? So Kocha was now saying that no, that the reason she did that is because when he's having a bad dream, he's always like, he used to turn and throw legs and hands up and down. So that's why she sets the boundary. But that's with Isabella, he actually that he didn't want to have anything to do with Tracy. He was basically trying to say that he had no intentions to do anything with Tracy, or have anything with Tracy. But with Isabella, he would actually likes to have something with Isabella. He first of all said that she they say she has body odor. That let him come and collect his own BO. I say, all these shades. Then he now went for that to say that he now went for that to talk about the kissing thing. That let me just play that part first, where that's when she now responded that he did it without her permission, and they now explained how the kiss situation went, right?
No, me, I want do something with Isabella. Let me say I want collect buzzer.
Isabella, if you want come, I bet they free. Constantly for me,
Let's
do
do that. I
that.
kiss you. I'm not supposed to do nothing.
You never kiss him. Now, wow.
You get why? You get why? I think they go talk calm. I think I saw to this. Isabella lips soft.
So that's why I said, like, she later on said, oh, she spoke about the lips thing, and then she laughed about it. She now said that her lips are soft and all of that, right? I said, okay, it's all right. Like I said, he needs to tread with caution, because this thing that they're saying, the one we watched during the pool party, like the sorry, the situation we watched during the pool party, it was literally her pushing him away when he wanted to try to like kiss her and all of that. So I don't know if this one is a different time that he probably tried again or whatever it is. But I included that video here so that you guys can watch that part where he tried during the pool party. Yeah. So this is where he tried that. And if this is the situation they're talking about, then nothing actually happened there, because he only tried and then she pushed him away. So like I said, maybe there was another time that was not captured or something, right? And I would reiterate, he needs to tread with caution, because at this point, it's not making any sense. He's always moving fun, he's always moving weird. Not always. I wouldn't use the word always, but he has tried it with like Sultana, he's tried it with Isabella, and then sometimes he's always so like up close with some ladies, and I don't know. So I feel like the only reason that maybe people that's not even addressed this is because the ladies are not like giving off the vibe of like, oh, it's making me feel some type of way. But there's only it could get to a point where you just do the one that would just be like, extreme. So if anything, Big Brother should just call him to order and let him tell him to not like be operating on that level, right? Now, another thing that was discussed that I believe is quite implicating was Isabella talking about you know life outside, basically. So she was just talking about the ladies and the whole fight thing that happened during the live eviction show. She was saying that there's nothing that they can say that can get to her, especially with the whole body odor conversation or her having a poor hygiene talk. That if that maybe she needs to get guys outside of the house is different, but that she usually gets guys that in fact both genders like used to eat her work without any issues, that they even ask for it. And I was like, why would you say such on national TV, Big Brother Nigeria, to be precise? Why are you saying such?
If I wasn't meeting guys, it's a different thing. I get both genders that eat my pussy at any time I fucking want. I don't need to even ask. So, their talk here, no, they move me.
Like why? Like this is what happens when you just keep talking and just you know you say that they were talking and they were just backing and all of that. That's when when they were fighting, because she wasn't saying so much when the fight was going on. She was just walking around, just doing her ignore game thing. You say, okay, they spend so much time talking about it, but now that they've gone to bed, you've now spent way more time than they did also talking about the same thing, right? And you've now had to spill till you got to this point, right? Now, this also still happened before the big brother calling her into the diary room. Not this one did not happen just directly before. The kitchen one with culture was the one that was closest to when Big Brother called her into the diary room, right? But this is also something that I don't think Big Brother will appreciate someone saying on the show, because if anything, it's still illegal in Nigeria to engage that way, to swing both ways. So far as I know, I mean, to the extent which I know, except to get everything they don't change, I don't know. But this show is something that like all a lot sorry a lot of eyes are on it. Before you know, you'll be hearing calling for ban or no ban or whatever it is. So this kind of conversations are not appreciated on the show. So I feel like it's either Big Brother called her for this, or he called her for that, or he also there was another thing that happened. I think she took Bright's book, I mean, what's his punishment book, and speaker, I mean, a microphone and something. So there are several things that happened, and people that called her. So it's either one of those things that made him call her, because it was literally like three past three or so when he called her, and she spent a lot of time there. So why is he calling her into the diary room? When she came out, she didn't say so much about it. She was more calm, and she wasn't talking, obviously. So yeah, I don't know again. No, so make I just add that one. Then so I was just telling her that it's good that she ignored them, that she just said her own, and they just kept like talking. Um, Isabella was now still reiterating that there's nothing they can say that will get to her. That even the fates that Joanna is with, that they were the ones that gathered and they were saying that he doesn't take his baths and that he's not clean, he's dirty, and all of that, right?
Exactly, and then you were calm because at the end of the day, how many names you call? Only three names. Now you make people dey talk for hours.
The faith wey she dey lie down with, no be him dem say all of them still gather gossip say he no dey baff and he's dirty. I forget to even drop down once.
So yeah, they had a long conversation, the whole deathness thing. At some points, Sultana was not saying that, everybody has their own smell. I mean, everybody smells at the end of the day and stuff. She was just saying, in my mind, I was like, the way, like, the way Isabella keeps talking about how they cannot get to her with saying she smells and she doesn't smell and all whatnot. It's actually just crazy that the person sitting in front of you was one of the people that started pushing, or that brought up that conversation about your hygiene first to the attention of the housemates. We also had Couture. Couture's one is funny because he told Kola that he was disappointed that Kola kissed Isabella because Isabella has mouth odor. So now you can't now you won't go collect your own. No, I told Kola you were disappointed. Just imagine that kind of operation. That Couture. Eh? So yeah, that's that for that. What was I even saying concerning the whole thing? Anyway, Nadia Sabisha, moving on for the head of house challenge, the house snail, Isabella got the house snail, and then Big Brother also added tardiness to his list of punishable offenses. Tardiest to his list of punishable to what he's going to give out for to what he was going to give out yesterday. So he called Jason J as like Thaddeus because Jason J wasted time to come for the games, the what they call it, head of house games, because they call them in batches to play the word puzzle. So when it was his group's done, he wasted time and he made the other people that entered early to see the board beforehand. So he was just being sluggish and all of that to get to the arena, and people that now added punishment for him. So two of them are like they're under punishment for the week. So for Joanna and Mensan, Big Brother said they did not carry out their own punishment very well when they were like snails for the house. So he extended their punishments. Joanna's own is to wash plate throughout the week. Mensa's own is to continue with toilet duties. So they go really show Joanna small shaky because this whole washing plates thing. Some housemates might just decide to be using plates, like especially those that she's not cool with. They'll just be using plates up and down because people that said no other person should wash plate this week. So you go wash plate tire. So yeah, that's it for this video. Jason J and Sultana, they still had their thing, and right now Koyin and Jason J, they slept in the other house room. So their wives, not their wives, their ladies or their babes or their ships basically are now in their own corner, in their own space. So Tana said if she wins, she's going to pick Isabella. So let's see how the challenger will go, whether those other people win or who is going to win and how it's going to change, whether Koyi will retain it or not. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm just going to round up at this point. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you. Kisses.